Kaleidoscope, a weekly public affairs program brought to you in partnership with the Urban League of Greater Cleveland, Kaleidoscope Magazine, and News Channel 5.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the broadcast today. And a good one we have for you, but don't we always have a good one? Legacy 3 is one of the top housing providers to homeless women in Summit County. Founder and Chief Executive Officer Darnella McNeil and board member Mary Williams are here to talk more about the organization. Then we'll hear from Adrian Kincaid and Glenda Dames Fincher of Kincaid's Kindred Spirits Incorporated. They'll discuss their efforts to fight sickle cell disease. And later on the broadcast today, the director of the MC Chatman Center, Marcella Caffey, and registered nurse Angela Wilson will be here to talk about the annual Multimusic Festival and Health Fair hosted by the MC Chatman Center. Good morning, everyone. I'm Leon Bibb. This is Kaleidoscope, and so we begin. Beginning right now with Darnella McNeil and Mary Williams from Legacy 3. Good to have you with us.
Thank you. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning. Good to have you. Darnella, let's begin with you. Tell us, what is Legacy 3?
Legacy 3 is a nonprofit organization that provides supportive housing services to homeless women in Summit County who are recovering from chronic substance abuse. And we have two program components: transitional housing and also permanent housing.
So you're primarily in Summit County, in the
Yes.
in the Akron area.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Let me ask you, Mary Williams, how long does a client stay in Legacy 3 using the transitional housing and things like that?
Well, the two programs, as Darnella mentioned, and it's a combined 2.5 years is usually the normal amount of time that the residents would spend, or the program participants would be in the program.
The need is still out there. Big time, isn't it, Mary?
Yes, definitely.
Tell me about that need, the need to provide.
Okay, the need to provide services for women who are recovering from substance abuse issues, as well as being homeless, and just need a strong support system in their lives to get their lives together and get back on a path of safe footing. And Legacy 3 has been instrumental in providing those services and the support system and discipline that these women need to.
Darnella, you're the founder and the CEO of Legacy 3.
Yes.
Tell me, what was your inspiration for founding this, and when did you do this?
In 1995, I'm personally in recovery myself, 19 years now, but at that time I had almost 2 or 3 years of sobriety, and I would sponsor women in a 12-step program. And one of the things that I noticed is that when the ladies would be in treatment or in other structured environments, they were able to maintain their sobriety, but once they got discharged, their housing options were limited, and many of the women would just go back to their old lifestyle or become homeless. And at that time, the local shelters did not give these women priority. And so
you said somebody needs to do something. So you stepped up to the plate. Well, thank you for what you've done and how you've lived your life for the last 20 years or so, 19 years or so.
Actually, it's really my pleasure.
Yeah, well, good. Well, you're here really to talk about something called the Humble Beginnings Community Awards Dinner. Tell me a little bit about that, Mary Williams.
Well, this is our 15th year in operation, so this year is special, especially for Darnella, because we've been in operation for so long. And it's an awards ceremony in which individuals from the community are awarded recognition in certain areas, such as faith-based organizations. What are the others, Darnella?
Humanitarian, the Brubaker Award of Excellence.
People who have contributed to society to help make a better world for all of us, especially in the Akron area, in the Summit County area. I see my notes here. You're Friday, September the 23rd at the University of Akron's Martin Center. Tell me a little bit about what you expect to happen and why this is important for this Humble Beginnings Community Awards Dinner to be held.
Well, first of all, because it's Legacy 3's 15th year of service to our community. But what we like to do is, it's not all about Legacy 3, because we have so many other people and businesses who really do work hard to empower people to achieve and to be successful in their lives. And then we also have so many people and institutions that increase the quality of life in the Summit County community. And so even though the celebration is about Legacy 3 reaching its 15th year milestone, we also like, again, to share the celebration, and we do that by publicly honoring individuals in our community.
And you'll talk about the humble beginnings. I love that title too, the humble beginnings. Friday, September the 23rd at the University of Akron's Martin Center. Mary, are tickets still available for this now?
Yes,
and
definitely.
People can call the number that we're putting on the screen right now and get more information. That number is 330-375-0071, as you see at the bottom of the screen, or you can go to legacy3.org, legacy3.org for more information on everything we've been talking about. What do you envision for the future? I've got about a minute remaining. What do you envision for the future for Legacy 3?
Well, I envision Legacy 3 continuing, of course, but being able to provide more services on a broader scale. And Darnell and I have talked about this. Personally, I'd like to see the program duplicated in other cities. It is a model program. If you look at programmatic data that Mrs. McNeil prepares for her funding sources, we're always exceeding our goals and outcomes. So I think if it could be duplicated, it would help the nation, the country, with these issues of homelessness and substance abuse.
Bottom line is, if there's somebody out there who needs help, they can make a phone call and get information on everything we've been talking about, right?
Yes, they can.
You take them in with transitional housing and all kinds of supportive services to get people back on the straight and narrow.
That's
and give them a leg up.
Women.
Homeless women. We're talking about homeless women in the Summit County area. Well, many thanks. We wish you well on Friday, September the 23rd at the University of Akron's Martin Center. What time do you begin?
6 o'clock, promptly at 6.
And ticket prices?
$45.
But you get so much for that $45, don't you?
Yes, it's a real unique
event. So a worthwhile cause.
It's a fundraising effort.
330-375-0071. That's the phone number. More information on everything we've been talking about. We've been talking with Darnella McNeil and Mary Williams of Legacy 3. Thank you, ladies. We wish you well.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Okay. I'm going to take a break. This is Kaleidoscope. I'm Leon Bibb. Back in just a moment. Welcome back to more of Kaleidoscope today. Glad to have you with us. Kincaid's Kindred Spirits Incorporated was established to assist adults with sickle cell anemia and bring awareness to that disease. Its founder and executive director, Adrian Kincaid, is here, along with medical analyst Glenda Dames-Fincher. They'll talk about the organization and about fundraisers to support programs offered. Good to have you both with us. Let me ask you, Adrian Kincaid, what is Kincaid's Kindred Spirits? Tell me a little bit about that.
Well, Kincaid's Kindred Spirits was formed to bring greater awareness about the plight of adults who are affected with sickle cell. Due to the lack of awareness, we wanted to bring more awareness to the adult issues that sickle cell affects adults.
Refresh our memories on what sickle cell is, what it does to the body.
Maybe Glenda.
Sickle cell disease is a group of inherited blood disorders, and they affect the hemoglobin, which is the oxygen-carrying protein in red blood cells. And when the red blood cells, which carry oxygen and nutrients to all the cells, when they lose oxygen, they become sickled and in a crescent moon shape. And this causes obstruction of all the blood vessels, extreme pain, and damage to almost every organ of the body.
Glenda, what is it, the message that Glenda Dames-Fincher, what's the message that you're trying to get out today?
Well, number one, that adults with sickle cell, we are now living longer. Therefore, we need support also to continue in our efforts to increase awareness about sickle cell disease, and we also need blood. People to increase blood donation. That's very important, particularly in minority communities. Although sickle cell is in almost every race, in this country it's predominantly in African Americans and Latino Americans, and sickle cell patients can use a lot of blood.
You've got some programs and services going on. You want to give a thumbnail sketch, just a little bit on some of the programs that you're trying to do?
Well, we have monthly support group meetings that are held every third Tuesday at Euclid Library, and we have two fundraisers that we have coming up. One of them is Stepping Into Sickle Cell Awareness, which is our annual walk. Due to September being Sickle Cell Awareness Month, so we have our walk coming up on September 17th. to bring out the community to educate those who want to know more about sickle cell. And then we have our annual Red and White celebration coming up on September 23rd.
My notes tell me that Saturday, September 17th, your walk starts at East 55th and Scoville Avenue. That's right around East Tech High School, isn't it? If memory serves me correct.
Yes.
And then you've got the Red and White Sickle Cell celebration is on September the 23rd at 7 o'clock at the Normandy Party Center on Palisades Parkway in Wickliffe. And that's open for folks to come and buy tickets and enjoy themselves. And this is a good fundraiser for the organization, I would imagine.
Definitely.
Yeah. Yeah. What are your thoughts about all of this? Are we getting the word out on sickle cell and what it does?
Well, there's been an increase lately, probably in the 90s, in a bit of awareness about sickle cell disease, but we still are not as aware as we need to be. People are tested at birth now in all 50 states so that they know whether they have the disease or they are a carrier, because it is genetic. You cannot catch it. It is inherited.
And I'm holding some information. We'll get a shot of some of this information. You've got brochures like this available, I would imagine, during the walk that's coming up on September the 17th.
Yes.
Why do you think this is so vital to get the word out? There are a lot of people are not aware of what's going on.
Right. A lot of people are not aware that sickle cell still exists. They think that it has been cured, and it hasn't. A lot of us are losing our lives, our quality of life, and we want to educate the youth that are coming up to better maintain themselves so they can be productive adults in the community as well.
Yeah. Adrian, what's your vision for the organization? Where do you want to take the organization? To a higher level?
To a much higher level.
To get more folks involved in information?
Much more people involved to try to get the families of those who are affected with sickle cell more involved, because by you having this when you're born, and 9 times out of 10 you're going to die with it, most family members don't see you as being really sick when you are sick, because you don't look sick. And then they feel that you should be doing more, could be doing more when you really can't.
Glenda Dames Fincher, who do you want to participate in this walk? Who's the walk open up to?
Well, the walk is open to everyone. We want people to come out. We will have vendors. There's going to be a health fair. The Red Cross will have a blood drive also. We will have a blood mobile there. And there will also be probably a CPR class given at Shiloh Baptist Church, which is on the same street.
Right there at East 55th and Scoville.
And so there will be a lot of awareness and different agencies there, health agencies. We also want to definitely make sure that African Americans in particular in the Cleveland area are getting out and donating blood, bone marrow, and being aware that it is very important when you get a lot of blood transfusions. A lot of sickle cell patients can use up to 100 units of blood a year.
All of these things are very important to the entire to the entire community, to the entire world. We appreciate it. Adrian Kincaid, founder and executive director of Kincaid's Kindred Spirits, and Glenda Dames Fincher, she's with Kincaid's Kindred Spirits as well. And by the way, we've kept the phone number on the screen there for quite a while. You may want to make a phone call, get off all the information you can on more information on the celebration, which is coming up on September the 23rd, and the walk, which is coming up on September the 17th. 216-347-1931, as you see at the bottom of the screen. Thank you, ladies, for being on the broadcast.
Thank you for having us.
We wish you well. Good to have you with us, and thank you for what you do. I'll take a break. I'll be right back in just a moment. You're in touch with Kaleidoscope, and glad to have you with us today. The MC Chatman Center hosts its annual Multi-Music Festival and Health Fair. It's scheduled for September the 10th, and the center director, Marcella Caffey, and registered nurse Angela Wilson are here to talk more about this annual community event. Good to have you with us. Marcella sitting on the outside, and Angela sitting here next to me. Ladies, let's start with you, Marcella. Tell us, refresh our memory on the MC Chatman Center for Humanitarian Services.
All right, the MC Chatman Center is a nonprofit charitable organization located in the heart of a housing project in Cleveland called Garden Valley. And it's dedicated to the memory of Reverend M.C. Chatman, who was, by the way, my father.
Whom I knew very, very well many years ago.
Dedicated to his memory. And my mother is the one that instituted the M.C. Chatman Center in the year 2003.
What are some of the things that you do at that center?
Well, we have a mission. We're trying to uplift the human condition, whether it be adults, teenagers, children. We have a program, we have a Helping Hands program where we feed and we give clothing. We have a scholarship program. In fact, this Sunday is when we're going to give out school supplies. We also have AA meetings at our facility. We have a daycare center where we call ourselves a home away from home. We take care of children.
Anything to raise the quality of life that we can do.
Anything to raise the quality of life.
Yeah.
Not only in the Garden Valley area, but we try to help in the city of Cleveland.
Let's bring Angela Wilson in. You're a registered nurse with Cleveland Clinic. Good to have you as part of this. Now, there's a health component. You've got a big event coming up. Tell me about the health component that you're bringing in for your big Saturday, September 10th event at Palace Theater.
Well, before the show starts, at 6 o'clock, the doors are going to open early, and we're going to have a health screening available for the general public, and they're totally free. And this year we're going to have blood pressure screenings and BMIs, body mass index.
Because we're trying to keep everybody healthy as much as possible. And this is in keeping with the M.C. Chapman Center philosophy, isn't it, Marcella?
That's right.
Tell me a little bit. You've got a lot of big names coming in too. There's a music component too. All of this at the Palace Theater on September the 10th, and we can get a shot of this maybe on one of our cameras here at the program here. Spyro Gyra is going to be here, and Hub's Groove, and who else is going to be there?
Jonathan Butler.
Yeah.
Everybody's familiar with Falling in Love with Jesus. That's the song that he made famous, and also Hub's Groove.
Yeah. Marcella, why do you think this is so important to blend these two things together? The good time entertainment, the religious philosophy, of course, and the spirituality, and the health screenings?
Well, we celebrate diversity. My mother and father loved people. It didn't matter what race, creed, or color. They loved people. So that has become our mission in the M.C. Chapman Center. We celebrate diversity, and since we're so musical, we celebrate it through music.
And Angela, you are looking at that health component. Why do you see that as vital? Are a lot of people missing the point when it comes to quality health care?
There are a lot of people who are actually walking around with conditions that they're not even aware of. Case in point, we had a young lady come to do exercise. For pre-screening, we found out that she had dangerously high blood pressure. And when she went to her physician, it took them a month to get that under control. So a lot of times we can circumvent problems by having a pre-screening. It's a diagnostic tool.
You can have high blood pressure and not even know it.
That's why they call it the silent killer.
The silent killer.
Yes, absolutely.
So all of these screenings are going to be part of the big event, the big musical event at the Palace Theater, downtown Cleveland, Playhouse Square. I've got information here. The tickets are available by calling 241-6000. That's right to Playhouse Square's a ticket number. It's in the 216 area code. And you can get more information on everything that we've been talking about by calling the M.C. Chatman Center at 373-0867. Extension 2. You can get more information on everything we've been talking about. You want this. You've been doing this for some years now, Marcella.
This is our fifth one. Yes.
In memory of your dad,
my dad,
your mom, Ann Chatman.
Yes, she was quite a musician also.
Yeah.
And this was my son's idea, and he's very musical also. And so we celebrate the diversity through music. And many of our entertainers have been of so many different nationalities. And we all have something to offer. And this is what we want everyone to know. This is what makes our country great. Everybody's different, but we all have something to offer.
Well, once again, it's going to be Saturday, September the 10th at the Palace Theater. That's in downtown Cleveland at Playhouse Square. The show time's at 7 o'clock, but the health fair starts at 6:30, right?
6 o'clock.
6 o'clock. Right. Health fair starts at 6 o'clock. Show time's at 7 o'clock, and you'll get the free screenings for blood pressure and all kinds of other things. And featuring Jonathan Butler, Spyro Gyro, with a special guest Kanya Doss and Hub's Groove. It's going to be a good time, all at the Playhouse Square. Saturday, September the 10th at the Palace Theater, right?
Yes, and we have a little promo going, if I can say it.
Yeah.
If you call 241-6000 and use the code WZAK, you get $10 off your ticket.
Our good friends over the radio station, WZAK 93.1 on the radio dial.
Yes.
As they say
so
over there.
if you do and give that special code, you get $10 off your ticket.
We're all trying to save money. We'll
Yes.
do that too.
Yes.
Thank you very much, ladies, for being on the broadcast.
Thank you so much for
Good to see
having
you
us.
both. Wow.
Thank you.
Good to see you too,
Good to
my
see
good
you
friend.
too.
Okay. Log on to newsnet5.com to see what's coming up on Kaleidoscope. Coming up next, Marsha Maccabee of the Urban League of Greater Cleveland. After this. Our partner on this broadcast, Kaleidoscope, is the Urban League of Greater Cleveland. Its president and executive director, Marsha Maccabee, is always with us, always with a comment. Hey, Marsha.
Hey, Leon. How you doing today?
I'm okay. You're doing well, I'll bet.
I'm doing well. We're at a little different height today.
Yeah, we are. Yeah, we moved the desk today.
It's always good. It's always good. I'm really excited about something that's coming up. November 18th is going to be the Urban League's Equal Opportunity Day Luncheon. And our national president, Mark Morial, is going to be our keynote speaker at that event.
That's always a big event.
Absolutely, and it's going to be even, bigger this year. We're very excited, and of course, you're going to be with us at that event, so we're very excited. And what's special this year is we're kicking off our 95th anniversary, which will occur in 2012.
Has it been 95 years?
It's been
a fast 95 years. I don't remember the beginning, of course, and neither do you. But
we look good, right?
We just certainly do. But the organization has been here in Cleveland for 95 years.
Yes, we'll celebrate that 95th in December of 2012. But we're going to kick it off at this year's Equal Opportunity Day Luncheon, and we're going to have a series of events in 2012 to just celebrate that longevity and relevance to the community.
We've got about a minute remaining in this segment. What should people keep in mind when they think of the mission of the Urban League of Greater Cleveland?
They should think about the fact that the Urban League is, we like to call it the do tank. There are lots of think tank organizations around who do a lot of thinking and development of policy and exploration of ideas, but the Urban League has always been the do tank. And what I mean by that is we're putting together the programs and services that help people gain access to the opportunities that some other organizations help make possible. We make sure that when individuals get into the workforce, when they get into college and so forth, that they can have all the resources and support systems they need to be able to stay.
And thank you for what you do over at the Do Tank. You don't just think about it, you do the work.
Absolutely.
Marsha Maccabee, Urban League. That's going to do it for us. We appreciate you being with us. It's always good.
Kaleidoscope, a weekly public affairs program brought to you in partnership with the Urban League of Greater Cleveland, Kaleidoscope Magazine, and News Channel 5.